Chord. So where are you this evening?
I am home today.
And home is where, in the New York area?
Yes.
Excellent. Excellent. So what's going on in New York? Things coming back to life? It's starting to ramp up again?
Little by little, hopefully. I mean, it's the city that never sleeps and is keeps on going. I'm looking forward to it as I see some friends of mine and sort of the music industry and entertainment field is slowly starting to open up. So I'm really excited about that. But yeah, we're still in a pandemic. So unfortunately, a lot is still on hold.
Yeah, and as far as live performing goes, which I'm sure you desperately miss.
Absolutely. I miss it so, so much. It's a big part of my everyday, a big part of my livelihood, of my every weekend. And to have that be taken away, it really was a downfall and a bummer.
Yeah. But you're back in your environment and at home, so I'm sure that's there's the comforts that are around you. You were born in Queens and then raised in Fort Lee. What was that like growing up in Fort Lee, New Jersey?
Um, Humble beginnings. I have very beautiful memories in Bayside, Queens, and being around with my parents in a one bedroom home and having music all around my father's equipment and his piano and his sheet music, and just seeing, two young people make the best out of a situation every day and being hard workers and doing what they could with me as well. And when they were in a better position to move to Fort Lee, New Jersey, for me, there was still that access to the city. So I very much connect with New York. I feel more in tune as a city girl because I was more in the city than I was home. And it was Fort Lee, small town, very great community, great schools and whatnot. But as soon as school was over, I was in the city, whether I was in a studio session or trying to sneak my way into a jam session that was playing, or just wanting to be around music and culture, go to the park to play basketball, go to dance classes at Broadway Dance Center, right by where my mother worked by Columbus Circle. So for me, like to have New York City as my backyard was the best access as a kid, especially as a artist, musician growing up.
So as far as your parents go, they sounded very creative. What were their official, did they have a day job or were they always in arts and entertainment?
My mother had her day job, but both of them were, in fact, in the music. My father's a multi-instrumentalist, and he was gigging all over New York City just to, make ends meet and just be out there and being known as a musician. And then him and my mother both formed a 10-piece orchestra called Something Special. And that's when they started to really do all the nighttime events in the tri-state area, whether it was corporate events, private events, high clientele, lavish wedding events. And I was able to jump into that at the age of like 12, 13 years old. So even though my mother had her 9 to 5, she also had the nighttime job as well every weekend before I jumped in and took over. So yeah, that was my parents are definitely a team, and they did everything they could.
What a great influence too. So she's Greek and he's Mexican. That's just a
Mm-hmm.
wonderful melange that must have been very inspiring in so many ways.
Thank you. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, being involved in very cultural, very loving. We both love to eat. They're very nurturing, family oriented. So definitely my parents were able to both bring many different colors and facets to the table. So I love both my family and the culture and how I was raised, especially music wise, and just being infused in all that definitely was a lot of fun growing up.
So how did it all start for you? When did you know you really wanted to be in the arts and entertainment and all these disciplines? You are a singer, songwriter, musician, dancer, model. It's like the whole kitchen sink. How did this all start for you?
I I can't really pinpoint an age where I could say, oh, when I was 5 and I saw such and such, I just knew and I said, boom, that's what I want to be when I grow up. It was being involved with both my parents, like I was mentioning, my father's instruments all over the place, walking all over his sheet music, being so intrigued and inclined with the elements that I was hearing and coming to grips and understanding, and really being a baby, not to sound cliche, but being born into a musical family, being born into the space that I was born into. And then the fact that music was a way for my parents to survive and to make a dollar, to be able to support me as a young kid. And my father, I always use him. I call him he's my Mr. Miyagi in music, because he would say, don't touch my stuff, okay? Don't touch daddy's headphones. Don't touch daddy's guitar. And of course, what do? I touch daddy's headphones. I touch daddy's guitar. He never forced me. He never threw instruments into my hand. He wanted to raise me to be in a position where I'm choosing it, that I'm interested and I'm going for it because something that I see or hear is pulling me energetically. And so when I asked my father, he just literally told me at birth how I gravitated to music, how I paid attention, how I was the quietest baby ever. My father would just have to play music and I never said a peep. And also just ways to sit down with my father. It was a way for him to ground me and to be my teacher, to be my professor, if you will. And that was our connection. And there is a lot of discipline that goes into music. And my father always was like, okay, keep practicing, you keep learning, be open to learning. And okay, you do something, good job, keep going. It was never like, oh, you're so amazing. It was, okay, cool, keep working on it. And it just intrigued me so much how it made me feel. Music makes me so happy. It really is the completion to the beginning, middle, and end of my day. And so my father has also shown me tapes where he's humming to me, and he said, he's like, oh, and as a baby, I would repeat what I would hear. So everyone just tells me all these wonderful stories that immediately they knew, okay, I think we have another musician in the family. And the older I got and started to understand more and more, I was very vocal on, I want to be an entertainer when I grow up. I want to sing. I love to sing. Can I sing? And it was never anything else. No plan B, no other option. Just music was my life from beginning to end.
Oh, that sounds fascinating. So how did you get into actually learning to sing and play guitar and learn these instruments? Did you take any lessons, or was just you picked all this stuff by ear?
All by ear, and watching my father, really just having that around me. I had the best access to music, and I'm very grateful for that. I have friends of mine. I know some musician friends of mine either have had support from their family. Other friends of mine, unfortunately, did not have the support from their family, and they had to kind of fetch for themselves. And my heart always goes out to that, because I didn't have that. I had nothing but support, but I had if this is what you want, work for it. And if we see you slacking, we're going to get on you. So there was still that, the discipline, like kind of my mother laying the law, but making sure that I was going in the right direction. And my father would just sit with me, and I listened to a plethora of music. So there wasn't just one genre I grew up on. It was soul, jazz, funk, Motown, the classical music, bossa nova, which I love so much. I listened to everything. And that's why I'm a lover of music, truly. I can enjoy everything. I go through different moods, different spells. What do I feel like listening to today? What's going to put me in a mood or in a zone or in a vibe, or what's going to ground me for the day, like my meditation type of music. And the more that I became a student really of music, the more I pushed myself. I paid more attention to music than I did school, actually. I just couldn't wait to learn something new every day, whether it was book-wise or just understanding it by ear, and watching different artists on TV, whether it was on MTV, or watching different concerts, or going on YouTube, and really just being a student, learning, asking my father different questions, picking up the guitar, saying, teach me all the craziest jazz chords. I never just wanted to start from the beginning. I wanted to throw myself into the most impossible task. But just being very curious. I'm a very curious person. I still am to this day. And I am the type that when I put my mind to something, I will figure it out. I will learn it. And that's what keeps me going, you know, and keeps me happy that there's never an ending to this music journey. It's endless. It's continuous. And I love it so much because regardless of how much I've put or instilled my time and my energy into music, and I've done amazing things, I have my father's voice in the back of my head. You're still a student. You know, you never stop learning. So that's sort of also the humble piece to me as an artist and a woman and a musician, to continue being open and not block the lessons or any blessings coming my way, because you just never know where the next lesson is going to come from. So yeah, shout out to my father, for real. He's an amazing teacher, and he still teaches me to this day.
Oh, that's fantastic. So aside from your parents being heavy influences, and you had so many different influences growing up, from classical to bossa nova, jazz, all of that, what particular artist did you follow as you were growing up and then have now inspired you?
Oh my God, where do I start? Every time I get asked this question, I think it's the biggest paragraph I fill out when I'm on the computer, because yeah, I can keep going and going and going. It's not really specifics, but if I had to choose from every genre, like Earth, Wind and Fire, who just celebrated on Versus with the Isley Brothers. I was geeked out because I love Earth, Wind and Fire so much. So Earth, Wind and Fire, Herbie Hancock, Shaka Khan, Aretha Franklin, Celine Dion, Mariah Carey, Whitney Houston, Janet Jackson, of course, she's my everything, Michael Jackson, James Brown, Usher, Brandy, Sade, of course, all the classicals like Bach and Sergio Mendes, on the Brazilian side. Who else?
Yeah.
Dude, I grew up with Gloria Estefan because that whole Miami Sound machine. I really am not kidding when I tell you I listen to everything. If I came from the era where it was still, my parents always tell me about this, but vinyls, shoot, I probably have a whole room filled with vinyls. Because I'm such a fan, such a lover of music. Let me think, is there anyone else I'm forgetting that I listen to? I mean, even nowadays, Bruno Mars, love him.
What a show. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, love him so much. But I'm an old soul. So my heart and my ear is stuck in the past. Sometimes I have to, because I'm asked to perform in certain places where I have to sing top 40. I'm like, well, who's top 40? Because I don't listen to current music. But yeah, I'm such a fan and a lover of the classics. Oh, I forgot Frank Sinatra. Hello. George Benson. I mean, it's really endless. I can keep going and going.
Really smooth entertainers who always made it look so unbelievably effortless. And it's probably rubbing off on you big time. Like, how do you perform this? It's like watching a magician. Seeing somebody like yourself just taking on all these disciplines. And it's also visual for yourself as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, one of my biggest mentors, I grew up wanting to be like the female James Brown or female Michael Jackson, because I love how they're able to, like, their own gift is truly an instrument. And the fact that they understand, their understanding and knowledge of music is so expansive. They're not just, oh, I'm a singer, give me my mic. All right, boys, count me in. They understand the bass, the drums, the rhythm, the cadence. They understand sound and mix. And I'm so fascinated when they turn around. They'll be like, all right, boys, this is what I want. And they beatbox with their mouth. And they're able to have, I call it the musician language. They're able to speak that. And I'm like, you see, that's what I want to be, because I don't see that often, especially with women. And I want to be able to be respected, not only for my performance and my artistry, but the fact that someone can say, no, she's a true musician. She understands what we're doing. She's not just standing there with a mic. She gets what we're doing. She looks at us. She acknowledges us. She counts us in. She tells us what she wants. She calls out the keys. And I've always wanted to be a band leader, and I am today, because of those examples that I had growing up.
I think you come close with Gloria Estefan because she was part of Miami Sound Machine and was was family for her. I think she really got the language of it. I've
Mm-hmm.
I've seen Michael Jackson live, and I actually ran into James Brown one time. So they were like,
Oh
oh
God,
my
that's
God, they seem like
awesome.
live wax figures or something. It's just amazing.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're the greatest. They're forever legends. I mean, Prince. Shoot, I
Yeah, I wish
mean,
I could have seen it.
yeah, they're the ones that I continue to still pull from. Whether they're here living or not, they're still here with us. Um, so for me, those are my go-tos. Absolutely, those are my go-tos. I just finished watching as well two incredible movies and slash documentaries. I watched Aretha Franklin's The Genius that was on National Geographic, and then I watched Tina Turner's documentary on
Love it.
HBO, and I was just like, my arms literally, the hairs on my arms. I had all these goosebumps,
Oh,
and just to see their trials and tribulations, but their triumphs and everything that they went through, especially during that time, especially as women. I was just blown away. I couldn't get my emotions together. I was crying. I was upset. I was angry. I was inspired. There was so much. I was filled. It was a flood of emotions because really they are queens to this music and to this craft, and the fact that they still have stories to tell for people such as myself to watch and be inspired by is like, wow, thank you, queens. Like, I really needed to see this, especially in this time and during this pandemic. It's sort of like lit up the battery on my back again. Like, be inspired all over again to keep doing what I love so much.
Oh, with strong women too. I saw Tina Turner, another one I saw live. A really good seat I had for that, and I always respected somebody like that who really
Mm-hmm.
had to deal with a lot of difficulties. What a great documentary
Mm-hmm.
that is on HBO.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah, it
definitely.
was phenomenal.
So, growing up, you went to public school. Did you do any schooling after that, or just went right to the music industry?
I was in it from the start. I think that's where the distractions came in. I couldn't wait for school to be over so I can just go to choir, so I can go to band, so I can go back to the studio. I started extremely young, and I just, I have a high school diploma, yay me, but
Yeah.
I have a bachelor's in life because
Yeah.
the fact that my mother's so straight up. She was not the you're gonna go to college mom. She was like, I want to watch myself and not cursing, but she didn't give a shit about college. She goes, why waste your money? You're doing it now. And I was like, oh, shoot, that's not what every mother is saying around me. She was real. She was, this is what you want? Let's go. You don't need to go to school to learn what you've already been doing, which to her point, I was like, well, this is true. I already had access. I had basically what they're street smart and book smart. I had the schooling. I had the music theory in school, in middle school, elementary, middle school, high school. I learned what I needed to learn in the books. But then the street smarts, being with my father, 10-piece orchestra, understanding all different genres, knowing on call what I needed to sing, learning music, understanding it, memorizing songs, being able to lead a band. I was talking about the band leader position, and understand cueing the horns, cueing the guys, 4 on the floor, being able to speak that. I couldn't be taught by a book or, to in any class. I mean, no offense to schoolings, I'm sure they're brilliant, but I needed my energy, especially I'm a typical Aries, I need to go out and do it myself. I need to see it. I need to absorb it. I need to practice. I need to copy, watch what I'm seeing, and then put it out there, trial and error, and just keep practicing and practicing. And if I get something wrong, okay, let me go back and see, why was this wrong, or what can I do to make it better? I've been in studio since I was like 10, 11. So not only do I understand stage etiquette and understanding my sound and making sure my wedges are right and my mic is right and my sound, the quality, and what do I need in my in-ears? I need more bass. I need more hi-hat. I'm able to have studio etiquette and be able to know what I want. What kind of sound do I want? What kind of vocal do I want to give? And becoming I like to call myself a vocal beast. I'm a true vocalist. I've done many sessions where I was just hired to do some demo work. And I'm very grateful that the musicians and the producers that called me, they knew they can call me for anything. I wasn't just, oh, you're my rock singer or you're my pop girl. No, what do you need? And I will give you the colors that you're asking for. Just give me the recipe and I will deliver. And the more I continued with my craft and going on tour and working with different musicians and different people, it's basically what crafted and molded me into the musician that I am today. So I'm just want to say I'm really grateful for that. And that was my schooling. I call every producer and every quote unquote boss or leader my professors. So my college was really like this music industry, this life that I was given. And as soon as I graduated, I was out. I was off. There was no stopping me. I didn't have to worry about books or school or waking up early. I was the night owl. I was the studio rat, as they used to call me. And just be around it 24/7, literally 24/7.
So being a studio rat, when did that start for you? Your first single or solo album, was that just not too far out of school?
I was working with people in the area that had literally, my God, not many people know this, but I've worked in so many studio setups, I'll call them. I've been in people's kitchens where they're like, the producer will be like, oh, shut off the refrigerator. Or, yeah, turn it back on after this vocal. I've been in bathrooms. I've been in, what do you call it? Like under the staircase in their basement, they turned this closet into a vocal booth that felt like a sauna.
Great acoustics.
So yeah, right. Great acoustics, and it was hot as heck in there. But you know, so I've really been through it all. And then I've been affiliated with the Sugar Hill Gang. They had a studio in Englewood, New Jersey. Englewood or Richfield. I know it was one of the two. Englewood, New Jersey. I also had the pleasure of working with the Rough Riders. Dee and Wah, the CEOs of Rough Riders, they have a studio out in Yonkers. And may he rest in peace and power, but DMX, The Locks, Jadakiss, Dragon, Eve, I was around all of them. And being young and being called in to do a hook or give some background vocals, being affiliated at the time with Rockefeller. So I really have collected my stripes, my badges of honor, my street cred, being around, just working with whomever. And then it all circles back to my personal partner in crime, my producer who I've been working with since day one, Tyrese Jones, also known as Ty Jams, out from Ohio, Dayton, Ohio. And like a brother from another. And been working with him. So anytime that I had the opportunity or the time, I would fly out to him and be with him for weeks at a time. Sometimes I got to miss school. That was cool because my mom knew that I was up to something big. And if I needed to finish a project or I needed to finish a vocal, she didn't want to pull me away from that experience, but she'd be like, but when you get back, you got to pick up on your studies. So yeah, it started, it didn't have a specific time. It just, once it started, boom, we kept feeding the fire, kept putting logs in the fire, and it kept growing and growing. So then being out of school, that pressure of having to homework and wake up early, all of that was left behind, which I couldn't wait because I had trouble waking up in the morning. I still do. But yeah, just I have stories that go on for days and days and days. I mean, yeah, like how long is your program? But the truth is it wasn't just I'm very proud of my story and grateful for it, because it wasn't just, oh, okay, one day I was here and I got spotted. No, it was the hustle and flow, pay your dues, get out there and meet people. My father always talked about public relations, making connections, letting people know who you are, going for it. And yeah, that was the start, and it still is to this day. And I'm just really glad that people know me well enough, and my name is, humbly speaking, known and used, that people call on me. So once this pandemic lifts, man, I can't wait, because the phone will be ringing off the hook.
All bets are off. And I know you already have a lot of touring memories. Wyclef Jean is one of them. You have stories about that?
Oh, yeah. Again, each story is like, how much time do you have? I can give you the very short version, short and sweet, or I can go all the way back. Yeah, Wyclef Jean representing Jersey as well. Newark cat, but also New York. So we understood each other in that realm, you know, Brooklyn, but also Newark. How did I meet him? Honestly, this industry is truly a small world. Nothing's ever a coincidence. We all know each other in one way, through somebody in one way, shape, or form. And I just remember someone had told me, I think he was a bodyguard or he was somebody's boy. You know, they always got their boy involved with something. And he's like, oh yeah, you know, my man's Wyclef, I'm gonna go to his studio. I'm gonna create the connection. And I knew different musicians. So a lot of people were vouching for me. Oh, you got to meet this girl. She's dope, blah, blah, blah. You know, if you need to call her in for like a studio session, she does hooks, whatever you need her for. And I just remember getting the contact, going to their studio that was in the city. I believe it's still there, Platinum Sound. Walking in, me introducing myself. And at the time, I had a way where I would be humble and kind of like chill. But if there was a moment that opened itself up, I jumped to it. I was very unapologetic about it. And people would look at me like, okay, I see how you are. You know, you got a healthy ego. And I would just show up and let them know, I can do it. I can sing it. What do you need? And after making the connection with Wyclef, he took a liking to me. He loved my energy. He said that he felt my spirit. And he called me back into a studio session. He was like, yo, listen, sis, I'm working on a couple of records. And he says, I freaks with you. He used the F word. I like you a lot. And I could have called someone else. I could have called Shakira. I could have called J-Lo. But I want to use you. I want to use you. I want to give you a shot. And also because you're Mexican. So he was working on Carnival 2, Memoirs of an Immigrant album. And he had 2 records. One was called titled Selena, where he was using Selena's Bitty Bitty Bomb Bomb sample, and another record was called Let Me Touch Your Button. So he put me on the record, and putting me on as a feature, and then touring with him because it became something, and doing all these awesome features. I think it was Yahoo sessions, and then a couple of AOL sessions, and then we went to Spain and Switzerland. He was just like, all right, kid, pack your bags because we're going. And just like little moments like that. It starts off as an introduction and then it turns into something else. And that was definitely an amazing time. And I'm so glad that he believed in me and he gave me a shot, because he could have said, oh, well, you're nobody and I need somebody known. No, he was more like, I love the fact that you're hustling and you're doing your thing and I want to support you. So let's go, let's do this. And I'm like, look, hey, just say when. Just say when, and I'm there.
Oh, that's lovely that somebody like that is dedicated to breaking in new talent, who's so connected with these huge names. And it's like, it's great to get fresh perspectives and definitely talent involved in the music world. Nile Rodgers is another one that I'm interested in. That's an amazing talent as well. And God, I mean, the amount of people that Nile Rodgers has worked with, that had to be incredibly fascinating to be connected to somebody like that.
Absolutely. He truly is the creme de la creme. I mean, I remember the day that I received a call from an incredible musician, bass player, great friend of mine. His name is Jerry Barnes. And he is Nile Rodgers and Chic's bass player, incredible, phenomenal bass player, producer. Yeah. I've been in multiple sessions with him where I had the pleasure of meeting Roberta Flack, and just really cool. I'm always around brilliant people that have given me opportunities just to meet some incredible legends. So I remember he called me, and I think I was in the shower, and I was spending time with my parents. And my mom was like, oh, your phone rang when you were in the shower. I was like, oh, okay, let me check it. And I just happened to put it on speakerphone, and I was checking my messages. And I remember Jerry's like, hey, how's it going? Jerry Barnes here. Hey, listen, give me a call back because I had this opportunity. I want you to come in and sing for Nile. And he was just so nonchalant. I'm like, at this moment, who's Nile? Like, cause he just said, yeah, Nile. Okay. my mom being the nosy mother that she is, she's like, wait, Nile Rodgers? I'm like, Ma, I don't know. I just got the message.
That's it.
So now I'm talking to Jerry. He's like, yeah, Nile Rodgers and Chic. And for a second, it didn't ring because I'm just letting the man speak. Oh, sure. What do you need, Jerry? He's like a big papa to me, like an uncle. So I'm always I'll show up. What do you need? I'm the what do you need chick. And so he tells me, hey, show up. He gives me the time. He gives me the date. Boom, want you to come in, sing a couple of tunes. Okay, cool. Can't wait. Thanks, Jerry. I go in. My mom's like, so what happened? I'm like, oh, he wants me to come in to sing for Nile Rodgers. She's like, oh my God, you idiot. I'm like, do you know who you're singing for? I'm like, no. But when they pulled out the music, I'm like, oh my God, I'm so stupid. Because I was just in the moment. So my father and then Good Times, La Freak, and the producer, obviously, I knew this man. I knew this man's music. Let's dance. We are family. I'm coming out. So, I mean, yeah, it was wonderful. And I just remember showing up and there's Nile in all his amazing glory. Hey, how you doing? He's so cool for school. I mean, I think the dictionary, if you look up the word cool, it just should just say Nile Rodgers. He's so smooth and a very good man, a human being. And he just creates such a safe space. And he's like, hey, how's it going? And he's like, aren't you kind of young? Like, what do you know about my music? I was like, sir, I've been in this for a very long time. I grew up listening to my father. I work with different bands where I have to know your music. He goes, all right, well, what do you got for me, kid? And I was asked to sing I'm Coming Out because he was going on tour and that was a very specific role. So he's like, all right, here we go. Whips out his guitar. Bing, 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 bing. He just started playing and I had to just jump in. And he liked the fact that I didn't need to be counted in. He didn't say 1, 2. He just started playing. I was right there on cue. He changed the key. He went to a different song. Upside down, you turn me. He's like, oh, okay, cool. When do you start? I'm like, whenever you say. And then, of course, I left and started screaming. And I called my mom like, Mom, I got the gig. And actually, this was supposed to be a fill-in role. I was supposed to fill in for someone who was gone for a minute. Well, it just turns out I ended up taking the spot. So what was supposed to be a couple of weeks, maybe a month of touring with Chic, I ended up touring with them for 2.5 years.
Wow.
So that for me was my top 5 special moments, proud moments. Again, I was the youngest of everybody by like 15, 20 years. And they're all looking at me like, what you know about this? Well, I'll show you, sir. Let me show you why I belong here. And everyone was great. I had big brothers, uncles, and Papa Bears all taking care of me. And it's about, I also love the fact that there's no babying. My father didn't raise me in that way. It was like, show up, show out, figure it out. There was no ABC, 1, 2, 3, let's spell it out. The music industry is about, you're either going to jump in or you're not. And my energy, I don't mind jumping into a bunch of messery, I'll call it, and just figuring it out. I actually get a thrill out of that. So being on tour with them and being on the road and learning tour life and learning tour etiquette and figuring out your flight. Don't get lost. Figure your way. Find your own food. Find the band. Don't find the band. Don't get sick. Get your own medicine. Like, it was amazing. I love living out of a suitcase. I still love living out of a suitcase. I'm more of I need to be out in the world. I need to be on the move. I need to keep going. Though I don't mind the pause, which is what the pandemic has done, like slow down, pause, be with your home. Like you mentioned earlier, like, being in the comfort of my home, of course, so grateful to have a roof over my head. However, I'm like, this fire needs to get out. It's starting to simmer. Nile Rodgers and just to see even right now how his career has just taken over ever since he did Get Lucky with Daft Punk. And I'm seeing so many amazing documentaries and things that he's put out and new projects on Spotify. I'm still such a super fan and a lover of him and his music. He really is one of the best human beings on this planet. And he's a legend in this music industry for sure.
Definitely.
For sure.
So moving along throughout the pandemic, your latest
Hmm.
single is Carousel. That's the
Yes.
crown jewel of what's going on with you right now. What an amazing song. It's so the energy obviously is the big thing. And the music video that accompanies it is just incredible. So
Thank you.
everybody needs to know about Carousel. That's it was directed by Sage Love, the music video. So you
Yes.
got to see the
Hmm.
clip. Very good.
Thank you. Thank you so much. That was just a very thrown together last minute type of video, and it worked. I'm able to call on my friends, call on my connections, say, hey, I have this crazy idea. Can you do it? And everyone just said yes to me. It was wonderful. I was very appreciative, and there was no format. There was no setup or blueprint. It was like, okay, you guys are going to come to this location and we're just going to shoot and action. And it worked out. And I'm glad that it did, especially with the pandemic and everyone had to be very careful. And I love that it has that indoor sort of pandemic feel, not your typical, like, okay, this scene and this setup or green screen. It was like, nope, I'm just going to shoot with what's around me and just get creative and clever with it. And I had the right people to support me in it. And also Carousel, I have being upbeat and fun. I I never have any specifics like or a genre or what type of sound. I just create and perform and record music that I'm feeling in the moment. If I feel happy and fun and I want to dance, boom. If I feel I need to get some stuff off my chest because I'm upset about something or I need to speak about something true with what's going on in the world or I want to send a message, I just go with really what's on my heart at the moment. And I was recording so much music with Tyrese, my producer, and we just wanted to have fun. I wanted to have fun and not think about anything. Because also, I love being able to sing music that showcases me as a vocalist and my vocal range. However, I'm like, you know what? Let's make them dance before we make them cry. I don't need to be screaming and wailing on every record. You know, nowadays people are loving the simplicity of records, and they just people want to feel good. They want to feel good. They want to move. They want to dance. They want to get up. And why not celebrate that? So yeah, Carousel just came about, flew to Ohio, sat with Tyrese, was listening to a couple of songs. He asked me, what was I listening to? I put on some Sergio Mendes, showing him an album, Brasilero, with a bossa nova, African rhythm, heavy drum rhythm type of flow. And we just heard something. We were like, that sounds cool. We made it into a sample. He created the track. I remember waking up and I heard him going away and I was like, what you got? He's like, I think I got something for you. I was like, okay, great. Press play. I started jumping up and down like a freaking jelly bean. Super excited. I'm very easy to make happy, honestly. Like it takes me 2 seconds to love something. Either I love it or I don't. And it started bouncing around and I was like, this sounds like it's like a carousel, the carousel. He's like, okay, carousel. Well, what are we gonna sing? I'm like, I don't know. We'll figure it out. And it was just a free flow type of recording. Just pop behind the mic. Whatever words became very storytelling, esque type of vibe. And then my team heard it. They loved it. They're like, oh my God, let's roll with this. I was like, wow, this is so great. Cool. I mean, usually I get away from all the music I record, but the fact that it felt new and fresh to my team made me excited all over again. And then I had the video ready to go. I had done it myself. So I was like, oh, by the way, I have a music video. Oh, shoot. So I was sort of ahead of the game, being an artist, like sort of having my own production, being my own entity and being able to deliver as well, as opposed to waiting for teams or waiting for a label to say, okay, this is what we're going to do. I like to kind of have stuff already going on so I can be better prepared. And it fit. It was perfect. At least something to release during the pandemic once everything shut down. I'm so glad I at least had that in my vault. So I love that people are still responding to it and have been loving it and dancing to it and hitting me up, whether it's DM or private messages or whatnot. And yeah, I'm so excited about it. And I'm about to drop a remix to it as well, which I'm very excited about. So I can't wait till that comes out.
Oh, came out at the right time. We need the pick me up through all this pandemic, and hopefully we're gonna get out of this. And the light is through the trees, and we're almost there, and we can see you live again. And you could
I
tour.
know.
Yeah.
I know. I missed that. I mean, so much was on the books and set on the schedule, on the calendar. And then once everything shut down, it was like, oh boy, all right, well, let's revamp and
Yeah.
find a way to step outside of the box and while still trying to maintain and hold our head above water during this pandemic. So yeah, very excited. I mean, social media, I will think, if it wasn't for the internet and social media, I don't know what us artists and musicians would be doing, because we want to have access to the world, and our bread and butter and our everything is going out to perform. So at least we were able to have the internet to still support us through this.
Yeah. Well, congratulations on Carousel. I think that's going very far, and great dancing in that video. It's just really, really gets you going. Definitely.
Thank you so much.
So
Thank
before
you.
this, you were on The Voice. What season
Hmm.
was it?
Um, in the United States one
Yeah.
was season 6,
Okay.
and because I also did The Voice Mexico, which was
Oh, okay.
season 5, I believe. But yes, the US was season 6.
Great. Team Usher, and you did very well throughout all that. What was it like being on Team Usher?
I mean, it's Usher. He's one of my
Yeah.
people I mentioned with my influences and people that I looked up to, people that I listened to. I mean, Usher is incredible. Singer, dancer, musician, full-on entertainer and performer. And I respect him very much, especially for his gift. And I knew going into this show that I knew right away, oh my God, Team Usher for sure. And it was awesome. He was very communicative with the team. He liked having one-on-ones. He liked getting to know who each participant was on his team. And I admire him more than ever. I loved him obviously as a music influencer and a performer, but even just sitting with him and having talks with him, he definitely has left a mark on me, a very powerful mark on me. And for that, if there's anything that I walked away from were those moments with sitting down with Usher and having that one-on-one time.
Yeah, he's just such a wonderful talent too. Very good vocally and visually, and in great shape. Wow. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I
Oh
saw
yes,
him
he's
once.
all about the discipline. He's
Yeah.
about the discipline and the motivation, and that resonated with me too, because I'm a person that likes to work on my craft, and even when it comes to not only my voice or my ear, but my body, my temple, and the way that he works out and he continues to stay in shape, but also to stay strong and healthy for when he goes on tour and for his dance moves. Just the way that he talks about it and consistency is just very powerful, because he speaks that motivational, transformational type of talk and language, and he's very authentic with it, and everything he speaks is what he's practiced. And again, I'm very grateful for those times with him.
Yeah, raised in Chattanooga, Tennessee. I'm in the Atlanta area, so he's done some philanthropic work around here. That's where I saw him.
Oh
And
wow.
yeah, just iconic. I mean, people like that, you see them, and it's just almost takes your breath away when you're actually there in person with them. So I'm sure it had to be an amazing experience doing that.
Yeah, it really was. It
Absolutely.
really was.
Yeah, it had to be, it must feel like 20 feet tall, like once you you go through something like that and you get that far with it. And I'm sure the Mexican version as well, where you were a finalist, that had to be really an incredible experience as well.
It was another, I refer to this like anyone else. It was another chapter, another part of my story. It was another stage that I get to step on, but it wasn't foreign to me.
Yeah.
Many people look at it as like, oh my God, I'm on TV. Or, oh my God. For me, it was like, you know what? I've been working so hard. Why not? I'm meant to be here. This was just the next part of my journey, the next piece. I've been on stages all over the world. I've been in many rooms. I've sat at many tables with phenomenal people and people who still inspire me. So this is another stop along the way. I'm on this long going train ride, and this was all aboard. This was just another stop. And I loved it too, because I am very competitive, and like getting all wrapped up into, oh my God, it's a competition, took a lot out of me. But at the end of the day, I still got to sit with Usher. I still got to sit with Alejandro Sanz in La Voz Mexico and have those moments, and just walk away with that. Like, wow, okay, that's a memory I'll never forget. That's a moment I'll never forget. Wow, this is another story that I get to tell. And I looked at it as also practice, continuing to practice. All the stages, the wardrobe, the getting up early and get ready, the rehearsals, the practices, the long hours, like working till like 2, 3 in the morning to only sleep for 3 hours and get up, that nonstop, I was prepared for.
Yeah.
And even though it was very brutal, I looked at it as, hey, thanks for the practice. Thanks for the rehearsals. Like a boot camp.
Yeah.
To be ready for the bigger opportunities and projects that come along.
So speaking of projects, how long have you been recording? When was your first single and EP? And did that start just in the last decade or so?
No, very, very recently, because I've worked with other artists, and the majority of my experience has been being with other people, touring with other people. Right. It was time to finally say, okay, I need to get with the right person or people, the right team that will believe in me and just support me in putting out my own music. I remember that I just loved being on stage. It didn't matter with whom. So you have the Nile Rodgers, you have the Wyclef Jeans and the different bands that I get to work with. And I mean, there's so many other people that I perform with. And I could have easily gotten caught up with all that. Like, oh, wow, I got a touring gig. I'm good. I'm set.
Yeah.
But I remember having a very powerful conversation with a woman entertainer, performer, musician. And shout out to her. Her name is Silver Logan Sharp. She's out from the DC area. She was the original lead singer of Nile Rodgers and Chic. And we met during a gig with Nile that we had in Italy. And we were just sitting in the dressing room talking. She was like, so tell me about you. Where are you from? You know, what are you doing? You got your own project. And she was really like a dope advisor, a dope auntie. Like, what you doing, baby? You know, talk to me. And I was just sharing with her my passion. Oh, you know, Miss Silver, this is what I want to do, blah, blah, blah. And she was like, baby, listen to me. You got to go do your own project, because one day you gonna blink and one day you're gonna be 40 and then you're gonna be 50 and then you're gonna be 60, and you don't want to be singing your shoulda coulda wouldas. Although this is great, this is your opportunity, you know, it's amazing, but if you truly want to sing and this is your passion, you got to go off on your own, and you got to do what you got to do. And that left such a mark on me. It was like, okay, because I've done the label situation. And it left a bad taste in my mouth. So that's when I started going on tour. But she reminded me that, girl, you still like, you a spring chicken. You still got so much left. Baby, put your music out. Like, go for it. You could either still be doing this and this ain't gonna go nowhere, or you're gonna look back and have regrets, or, you know, do your thing now. And that really was like, okay, the straw that broke the camel's back. I'm like, yeah, she landed it for me. So
good for you.
That's when I stopped touring and really started to start from scratch, from the way beginning. And anyone else would have been like, you're crazy. Why would you leave the situation? You know, you could have been doing XYZ. You could have gone to France, Hawaii, all these. I was like, well, if I don't try it now, I'll never know. I'll never, I got to let it go. I got to have what I have and let go of what I have to have what I don't. And I took a big leap of faith. And so in starting from scratch, working with my producer, saying, okay, clean slate, blank canvas, what do we got? And then presenting it to my team and my manager now, Jojo Brim. And he's like, we got to put this out. We got to get you out there. And my first EP was titled See Me, that we put out in 2016, I believe. And So yeah, that was literally like my first batch of music for me under my name, under MJ Songstress. Like, oh shoot, this is not me doing a feature. This is not me doing background vocals or a demo. This is my project. So that was a big, big, big moment for me. And to now have Carousel that's going to lead into another EP. It's like, wow, I'm so glad I trusted and took that leap of faith, as opposed to being scared. And who knows where I would be right now if I didn't do it.
You got to do it, because otherwise it's true. Like the advice goes, it's like the time just flies so much, and you got to, So, and it sounds like you get out of your comfort zone and you're ready to dive in and just like, we're going to go this route and taking chances. That's so inspiring.
Exactly. Yeah. And me personally, I'm not scared of being uncomfortable. I might be a little moody, but it pulls me in. It challenges me. And I love a great challenge. I like being challenged. I like figuring it out, even if I'm, like, even if whether I'm triggered or if I'm freaking out or I'm getting a little frustrated. No, it's the sweet spot. I would tell any of my friends, any of my people, any of my followers or fans, supporters, that finding a relationship with finding some sort of comfort with being uncomfortable, that's where the sauce is. That's where you want to be. That's where the good news is. Because I'm a person that absolutely has practiced and preached this. I don't just walk the walk to talk the talk. I literally have been in this situation my entire life, just jumping in and figuring it out.
Wow. Fantastic. It sounds like you are in a great trajectory. Carousel's a new single, and there'll be a remix coming out.
Yes.
That's really amazing. I really, really appreciate your time and speaking with you. And
Thank you for yours. I appreciate it as well.
Take care. Have a very good evening.
Thank you. You too. Thank you so much again.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.